We are back. So just keep calm. Really? Just stay calm, please. Just be calm. Stop getting hostile. Everything's gonna be alright. Stop stressing out. Just calm down. That's the basis of this video. Cue the intro. What's that A with the circle around it? It looks something like Satanism. It looks scary. It looks like destruction. What is it? Anarchy? Anarchy? Isn't that chaos? Hashtag triggered? Arr! Just calm down. Calm down, please. Just calm down. That's the basis of this video. Let's have a sip of coffee because I'm sort of excited to get into this. A lot of people are offended at stupid fucking shit. Not offended by theft. That doesn't offend you. No. Never heard anyone hashtag theft, unless you're an anarchist or a libertarian. But guess what? We know that's immoral, right? We know that's wrong. Theft is wrong. No one's protesting in the street. They're stealing our money. It's not happening. That's something seriously wrong that's going on right now. Right? So when I see people stressing out or they're offended, it's always on bullshit. I said a word. Who fucking cares? I said a word. Has nothing to do with you. Get over yourself, right? If I dropped the N-bomb, I personally don't care. That's something you have to deal with, not me, right? It's something that, if I don't care what the word is, cunt, if that fucking just drives you nuts. Notice that I said the N-bomb, but I didn't say the C-bomb. Sorry, guys. Hashtag triggered. Hashtag fuck this guy. Let's all protest against this guy. It's just ridiculous. You're putting people under the bus and trying to ostracize them for what? You're stressing out. You're offended. You write a hashtag. I don't even know what the fucking weirdos do these days because they're offended. Didn't use the right gender pronoun. Hashtag triggered. Like, I just don't get it. Personally, I think you're wasting your time. You're wasting your energy. You're having your blood pressure rise for absolutely no reason. Once upon a time, we were all adults. We took care of our shit. We didn't have to go and complain. We were individually responsible, which is actually going to be the next video that we're going to be doing tomorrow. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. But once upon a time, we had individual responsibility, right? If you don't want to hurt anybody, you keep your hands to yourself. You took care of your shit. You didn't need government to be involved in any aspect of your life. I mean, you took care of yourself, especially if you're a man. Right? Today, I'm just going to use an Owen Benjamin phrase. Y'all a bunch of indoor cats, right? Y'all ain't experienced shit. Y'all don't know shit outside of your fucking bubble. For if you did, you'd realize there isn't shit going on that should be offensive, other than what I talk about in my videos, why I'm offended. Now, am I saying that only my offense matters? No. I think theft is offensive. I think murder's offensive. This is the stuff that I'd be like, okay, well, this is wrong. But you're being triggered because someone used a word or a phrase or whatever. They belittled you. Who cares? Are you going to let that stress out your day? So here's the thing. People are quick to react, and this generally stems from somebody who doesn't have individual responsibility, someone who doesn't have power or control over oneself. You've been trained as a child that your parents take care of you. You need to be taken care of, and then when you get to a certain age, you're supposed to be taught, hey, this is now how you take care of yourself. Most people in 2018 have not gotten the memo. So you are basically a child. You are a child in your adulthood, which is terrible. I've said this to many people in my life. I don't believe adults is equivalent to your age. I believe being an adult has when you remove your dependency and you gain some responsibility. At that point is when you're an adult. I don't care if you're 14. You're an adult if you recognize that and you become responsible and you're not dependent on anyone. But there's people into their 50s still on welfare, right? you're dependent on someone else. You can't do anything on yourself, and that individual responsibility is... I'm going into tomorrow's video, so I gotta stop that. But the point is that I'm getting at is that people have responsibility for themselves as an adult. Now, diving back to keeping calm, well, what happens if you're calm? Nothing happens to you. Guess what happens when you're stressed? When you're blowing up, when you're reactive on everything. You turn everything into a problem when it didn't have to be a problem. Let's talk about something. And people call this bipolar, but everyone has this, right? Everyone has everything to a certain extent. Everyone has an allergy to a certain extent. You might not notice it or whatever, but everyone has something to a certain extent. Everyone's lactose intolerant, whether you believe it or not. Everyone does. Chug a gallon of milk. You're something to an extent. Now, you're bipolar to an extent. Every single person is. So, you're loving life, you're smiling, and then all of a sudden someone dropped an N-bomb, and you are reactive. Right? I'm just throwing an N-bomb out there. Who the fuck cares? I use this word all the time in front of black people because they know, or they should know, I'm not doing anything to offend them. So, someone drops an N-bomb, you're reactive. Immediately. Something triggers in your psyche, in your brain, and it releases chemicals to create a reaction. And that reaction is robotic, and it's not any type of individual responsibility. It's just your default response as somebody that doesn't know how to control thyself. Right? So you have no responsibility, no able to stop what it is that is about to happen. And that's going to be you, oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. And this huge endorphin rush rushes into your head. The chemical balance changes. You all of a sudden changed everything that was going on in your happiness. Let's say you were dancing at the club and then someone just dropped an N-bomb and everyone has to stop. Everyone has to be like, no, you can't do that. Just throwing an example out there. And this bipolar reaction, this opposite attraction that has occurred into your chemicals, into your brain, into your reaction, all stems from you not being able to be strong enough to govern your own actions, right? This is a default response based on brainwashed programming in which that you have to react accordingly just like everyone else, like a copy-paste, 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 no unique individuality, none of that. Now what happens when you're responding like that? Well, problems happen, right? Instead of nothing happening, which would have been staying calm, or at least being able to identify and evaluate the situation, you have an immediate response in which that you don't have the strength as a man to control yourself, your emotions. Like, what are you, a boy still? Yeah, you are a child. You don't have responsibility. You are a child still. If you can't govern your own actions, you are a child. So, there's a saying, what you do, what you say is all on you. It's based on you. That has nothing to do with me. Now, how I react to whatever you're doing represents me. Right? So do I have an immediate default reaction, which is not something that I evaluate, not something that I think over, not something that, I have the strength to govern my actions? No. If I react immediately, I'm a robot. Right? Who am I at that point? You're a child. You're somebody that needs somebody to take care of them. I don't care if you're the tough guy that someone said something to you in the bar and you're like, wow, you don't say that, boom, and punch him in the face. Well, you're a weakling. That's not an alpha male to do that. That's a weakling. That's someone who doesn't have any control over themselves. But if you stayed calm, evaluated, and realized where you actually stand with something, with a situation, you can make a better decision, right? And we're going to dive into bigger aspects where this can really help you to stay calm as this video progresses. Because I'm going to start with small little things that you might not think matters, but it does matter because it affects every aspect of your life. If you take control of yourself and realize that staying calm, evaluate, becomes a much more powerful tool when you're stressed and you're reacting on robotic instincts, you can affect relationships. You can affect how something's going to go. You can affect life or death situations. God, I love coffee. So I'm somebody that uses patience and calmness as an aspect of my life that I use every single day. When I'm driving, right, I'm staying calm. If somebody slams on their brakes in front of me, I'm not, ah! And I don't panic, right? Because what happens when you panic is that you're not going to be able to think clearly, and you're not going to be able to make the best appropriate decision on how to handle a scenario. Someone rushes in front of me, slams on their brakes. Well, what do? If I'm calm, I can corner my eye, look at the mirror, or do something else. Let me show you an example. I made a video talking about I almost killed someone, and this was like 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. And I made a video right after I almost hit someone. Someone was on the side of the road, and this was an I-40 was it I-40? I think it was I-40 in North Carolina. That's my guess. I don't remember now. I mean, it's been 2 years. But some guy was on the side of the road, and he was about 30 feet off the road in the side of, in the grass on the interstate. And his car was broken down. It was apparent that he's having car troubles. Who knows what's going on in his mind? But I'm evaluating this shit even when I'm passing him, because I'm noticing things, because I'm calm. I'm not, what's the stress of my day, and I'm looking all around, and I'm confused, and my brain's cloudy. None of that. I was so focused on driving. I think I was listening to music, and I'm looking over at this guy. I'm like, this guy looks like he's having a bad day. He starts walking towards the road, and I'm noticing this. I'm like, what is he doing? That's not where his car is. What's he doing out here? Is he gonna throw up the thumb like, hey, I need a ride? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like trying to evaluate. I'm calm. And all of a sudden, instead of walking, he started running. He ran into the middle of the road. It was a 3-lane road. Or was it 2? Point is, there was more than 1 lane. And he runs right in front of me. Puts out his arms like this, waiting to die. By me. I fucking sort of panicked, but I stayed calm. I was like, what the fuck? This guy really wanted me to kill him? And I remember looking at the side of me earlier, knowing that there was no one there, but there are people around me, so I still had to look. So if I hit that car, then I can still crash into the guy and the guy next to me, so it even makes it even worse. So I barely look in the corner of my left eye to the mirror, and I had the attention and the focus to be able to do this split second, because he literally ran right in front of my truck when I'm going 70 down the highway. And he wanted to die. Whatever was going through his brain. I don't know what the fuck. His girlfriend left him. He's going to prison. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And then his car broke down and he's like, fuck this. I can just end it now with this fucking truck. And he chose me to be the truck. And so I barely missed the guy. And I gotta swear to you, not more than 2 or 3 inches that I missed the guy. And it was just a split-second decision. That guy would be dead if I did not stay calm and I panicked. Because I would be panicking and be like, my brain's cloudy, then it takes more reaction time. Seconds. And seconds matter in that scenario. You need to react now, right? And the only way to do that is if you remain calm, right? I barely missed the guy. If it wasn't for me staying calm, that guy would be dead. I would be charged with some shit that I wouldn't even know how to explain it to the officer. He ran out into the road. He put his arms like this, and I panicked, right? I could have said to the court, I panicked, I killed him. He would be dead right now. Now, who knows what happened after that, right? Who knows if he tried it again with another truck driver, except whatever, right? But I barely was able to slide out of the way, barely miss the guy next to me, and barely missed the guy. So that type of reaction required patience, required being calm, right? Me evaluating things, me being aware of a lot of things. And my heightened awareness is based on my ability to be calm. Now, if you're not calm and you're hyper, you're going to be missing things. You're going to be missing things, key things that could have changed everything, right? So there's this butterfly effect. Where would you be in your life right now if you were calm? Imagine if you were calm in a lot of scenarios. If you didn't yell at your spouse at certain things. If you didn't hashtag trigger on the fucking thing. And you spent your time doing things that actually matter. And imagine if you were just more calm during all your scenarios. How well would you be off? I'm about to tell you a story that I'm pretty confident well, maybe I did say it on my channel. I'm not sure. I mean, I do have close to 300 videos. All of them being 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, hour 30. You know, I have tons of videos on my channel. Who knows if I actually said this story. So, I used to live in the hood. Some of you guys know that. I'm a hood boy. Or at least I used to be. So I was in the hood. I was 19, 20. And I was selling weed. I was selling a lot of things, but one of the things I was selling on the block was weed. And I sold it to some of the young cats on the block. And these young boys were coming over and being like, yeah, I need to get weed, blah, blah, blah. And then for some reason, they told somebody else after me being, dealing with these kids for like a month or two. They actually tell the older boys on the block, the 16-year-old niggas, when those boys came over again, they brought the 16-year-olds, or whatever age they were. They're 17, whatever. And I'm 20 at the time. And I don't know what those boys told the other boys, but they came in and they asked for a nick. And I'm like, all right, I gave them the nick, no problem. I get the money, and it was 4 singles. And as they were walking away, I thought to myself, I'll just, next time they come to me, I'm just going to skimp the bag a little bit. No problem. I'm calm. No problem, right? I'm evaluating. I'm like, you don't want to fuck with the 16-year-olds. You know that there's problems with the 16-year-olds on the block. They see a target and they're hungry. They're going to come back with a gat, whatever. They realize somehow that I have a trap house. Well, this is pre-trap house. This is me just selling out the house. This was before trapping out that house, which we did trap out that house. Again, that was 12 years ago, right? 11 years ago, 12 years ago. So don't judge me. We had a trap house at a point. But anyways, selling out of the house, which is stupid. I even knew at the time, you never sell where you lay your head. But I felt more safe in my house selling out of my window. So the boys, somehow, I don't remember how I knew this. I don't remember if we had texting back then or whatever. I think I had a flip phone maybe. But somehow I got wind that they were going to come back later that night. And I thought to myself, this is bad. This is bad. We got to fucking figure something out. And I wanted to do it through the window because he wanted a little bit more. Not like a crazy amount. He wanted a quarter. And if you know anything about weed prices back then, quarter, I wanted to sell it for $30. I make that $5, whatever. And if I sold it at, I would make more than $5. I got an ounce, I got quarter pounds for like, what was it, 270, 280, 300 the most, for quarter pounds. So he wanted a quarter ounce. And I wanted to sell it to him for 30 because just in case he had a couple dollars short or, a million things are playing through my head and I'm keeping it calm. Now, I got complacent, we'll say. I had some people from the suburbs, they came to my house. White people, Asian, a big mix of people. And we're playing beer pong. And I'm waiting for these boys to show up. I figured that they were going to go to the window, but we heard a knock, knock, knock. And my brother was like, oh, it's them. And my brother went over there. Mind you, my brother's military, 6'4", pretty good guy, big guy. if how I was playing in my head was me and my brother, we can take on 2 apiece, right? So 4 people taken out of the equation. If they have any more than that, and mind you, we're not considering knives or guns or anything like that, just fist fight. Fisticuffs, me and my brother would have taken 4 of them. Easy. You know, I'm a tough boy myself. You know, I grew up in the hood. My brother, 6'4", military, same thing. He can take on 2 of them easy, right? So if it push came to shove, we had everything under control, and then we also had people at the party that would take over as well. So we weren't as concerned in the moment. We were complacent. My brother opens the door, boom. Faster than fucking somebody getting shot in the eyes with mace, my brother goes to the floor on his knees with his hands up. I was like, oh fuck, what's about to go in here? All of a sudden, out the fucking door comes the little fucking revolver. And I didn't panic. I was like, okay, these boys did want to rob us. I didn't have much pot on me or money or anything like that. I was just a poor boy that was trying to make some money, you know. So they came in. Immediately, the other dude with a knife took my brother by the throat and took him down and kneeled him down. And I see my brother's like, yeah, do it kind of thing. But I'm like, no, that fucking knife is like piercing his neck. It's bleeding his neck. But my brother told me afterwards that there was times where we could have fucking rushed him. But it is what it is. I stayed calm. I didn't panic, because panic in me kept telling me, rush him, now, it's loose on his neck, rush him. But the point is, my brother's on the knees, they get the fucking whole party going down, turn off the music, started searching the house for drugs and shit like that. And, you know, so being calm at this time meant life or death, right? So the boy had the pistol cocked. There was only one pistol, but, you know, they took a chance, because if I had a shotgun on the other side of the door, I mean, they planned this whole thing out. Imagine if we all panicked. There could be a fucking problem, you know, because me and my brother could have easily beat the shit out of these boys. Easy. But all of a sudden, a knife to my brother's throat and a pistol put it way into their favor, right? So, again, part of me says, fucking rush him. Rush him, grab that pistol, and I would have probably killed him for trying that on me. You know, at the time, I probably wasn't that smart, so I probably would have pulled the trigger on him. You know, you don't do this shit to me, you know, like you. But I kept calm. I kept evaluating what's in my pocket. Okay, I got 2 dime bags of weed in my pocket. I ended up giving the boys, like, I don't know, like a quarter, that quarter of an ounce that I bagged up for them. That's what I gave them. And I think I might have given him $20. And even, it's like, I know you're holding out on me. This is a trap house. And I remember I kept 2 dime bags in my pocket. And I'm like, okay, this will be like when they fucking go, we'll smoke some pot and fucking reminisce and forget about this shit. You know? So I was trying to keep that in my pocket. Boy comes up, taps on my pocket. I know he felt the weed, but he knew I stood my ground on my fucking 2 dime bags. I was like, yeah. What are you feeling, buddy? You gonna put your hands in my pocket? What are you doing? So I gave him that, you know, like, hey, I'm a tough dude, man. I obviously could whoop your ass. What are you doing? And so, point is, I stayed calm. Just gave him the intimidation factor, like, hey, you have a gun, you have a knife to my brother's neck, and he's pistol whipping my buddy. My buddy was bleeding in the mouth. Dude tried to punch me. It was the weakest fucking thing I've ever felt in my life. I just went like that, like, kidding me? Like, he has the gun to my face, and he's trying to punch me, like, you're holding out on me, boom. And I'm like, dude, there's no boom. I looked at him like, you gotta be kidding me. The only reason why you're able to do this to us is because you have a gun. But anyways, they stayed calm. Everyone got out of there fine. I even kept some weed on me, and I had some money stashed. Not much, maybe like $60 or something. I mean, I was broke. trying to sell my weed or whatever I was doing. I don't remember the numbers and shit and exactly what I counted. But the point is that I'm getting at, because of staying calm in that scenario, everything went fine. Fine enough, right? Boys left the block, and didn't have to plot revenge. Didn't fucking panic. I didn't stress out anything. It's over. Those boys know that if they came back here, we're gonna be ready next time. A, we're gonna be ready. They can't do it to us again. Two, they know that there's nothing of worth. So there's nothing that they can take. So being calm, evaluating, realize that, hey, that went pretty damn well because no one panicked. And just one example, one story. Right? I got like 50 of those. So being calm can alter a lot of things, right? Like, I could be in prison right now because of panicking. I could be dead right now because of panicking. My brother could have had his neck slit from me panicking. But because I didn't panic, I was able to stand my ground. They didn't do anything extra. And I gave them an intimidation factor because I had to show to them, hey, your punch didn't fucking faze me. You're a fucking 16-year-old boy from the block, right? Like, I would tear the fuck out of you. I'm a fucking dude who scuffs, gets in fights often, right? And me and my brother don't fight fucking pansies. We fight fucking boys, man. Point is that we didn't panic. We kept calm. Even my brother, I couldn't believe how calm he was. He had a knife to his throat. I was like, but he kept looking at me like, now's the time, let's do it. Because all my brother had to do was boom, that dude's done. And then the dude with the gun had to look over, boom, he's done. Right? It could have been that easy, but we stayed calm. We avoided any type of crazy shit. So, anyways, I get out of that story. So, I gave you a couple examples of staying calm and how it affects you. Now let's think about other ways that someone rushing your house in the middle of the night. You might wake up in a panic or whatever. You heard, your window break or whatever, and someone walked into your house. You could hear that and be like, oh shit, someone's here. What do I do? And then your brain's cloudy. But instead, you should be like, someone's breaking in my house? What a fucking idiot. Psst. See what he's doing, what he's up to. Don't say anything. Don't panic. Don't be like, get out of this house. I'll shoot you. Don't do any of that. Don't do that. Because then they're aware that you're aware. Right? But if you don't panic and you just are like, okay, what are you doing? You're going to steal something? Okay. What do I have to steal? Do I have jewelry? What do I have? What do I have here that someone is going to come in here and try to walk out with? My TV? They're probably going to look all downstairs and be like, I'm just giving an example of just a random possibility. There's probably nothing in your house. So they're going to probably go upstairs at some point. You sit in a corner, quiet, calm, finger on the trigger. Motherfucker goes into your room. Pop. Done. Right? So, I mean, it depends. I mean, you might have a dog, and the dog might have knocked over a lamp. I don't fucking know. But you got to evaluate. And if you're panicking, be like, worst case scenario, and freak out, what's going to happen? You're going to put yourself in danger. Stay calm. Stop #triggered. Stop being offended. Your default panic reaction is a beta reaction. You might be like, well, he's a big guy and he doesn't want anyone to mess with him and his girl, and he'll beat you up immediately without even thinking about it. You know what that is? Someone who can't control his own emotions. And a man who can't control his emotions is a bitch. Straight up. Sorry I had to tell you that, yeah, you get flustered easy, you're a bitch. All you have to do, keep calm. Keep calm. Right? Don't get flustered. Don't get your blood pressure raised, because nothing positive can ever come from that. Name one thing that's positive that can come from that. Oh, when I get flustered, my wife knows her place and she shuts the fuck up. Really? That's a good relationship for you? You're a moron. You might have initial, immediate success, or you might feel like you solved a problem. But this is short term, right? Someone picks on you, you beat them up, and then all of a sudden they won't fuck with me again. And if that's your fucking lifestyle, you know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I mean, I know that's just something that people say, but there's a lot of truth to that, right? If you're a fighter and you're always looking for a fight, someone's gonna beat you up. If you're somebody that's, I can't wait for someone to come in and do something, and you have your gun in your hand, well, that scenario's inevitably gonna happen. Remember, you are a creator. You create the scenarios over the horizon. You create the things that happen to you. And you are a creator. So the only thing that can also change your world, other than yourself and your mind and your thoughts and your beliefs and your expectations, your intentions, would be somebody else's intentions, expectations, and virtues and beliefs and etc. Right? So you create these things, but we're all in this thing together. If that makes sense to you guys, I'm diving into previous videos when I'm talking about that. So, what can you possibly get out of being offended? What possibly can you get? Positive. Well, it's going to make sure that people don't do this or do that, right? No, it doesn't. That's just saying that it doesn't help you, right? What it's saying is that you're not into something, you don't like something, and other people have to obey that. Let me give you an example. If you don't want me to say language around you, specific language, I'll adhere to that. But if you're forcing me to not say something, and you're going to use a type of force or shaming or ostracizing or something like that, you're the bitch. That means you can't handle language. That means you can, unless I'm threatening you or using language in a vulgar type of fuck you, I fucking cunt, I hope you slip and fall and slit your throat, and I hope your baby drowns. If I'm saying some crazy evil shit like that, I get it. But if I'm saying that I should be having my guns, come and take them, bitch, something like that, that's abstract. That's not saying, you motherfucker, take the shit, because if you do, I'm gonna kill you. That's not necessarily saying that. Now, you can come to that reaction because you don't think for yourself, or you get into that reaction because you panicked, because you didn't think critically, think it through, and you didn't stay calm. So how does most relationships become sour? Panic. Doing that robot reaction on default, rather than having self-ownership, self-responsibility, self-awareness, and evaluation. You know, staying calm. All staying calm does is be able to evaluate and be like, is this worth this argument? Is this worth me raising my voice? But if you're just like, spur of the moment, the feeling, the endorphins are coming, ah! You're doing that, and you're panicking, especially as a man, you're weak. That's a weak characteristic for people. It's very weak. That's beta type shit. If you're yelling at your wife, that's beta. That ain't no alpha. You're supposed to be security. You're supposed to be helping her. You're supposed to be giving to her. You're supposed to be the provider. You're supposed to be a man. Not some pansy who can't control his emotions. Come on, that's beta, 100% beta. I don't care how big you are. If you can't fucking handle a woman and make sure that she's okay, that's beta. If you have to yell, and if you have to have your blood pressure go up, that means that you don't have a good argument. That might mean that you're wrong. So you should evaluate. These people that are stuck in their belief structure, if I said Noah couldn't live till 600 years old to build an ark and God couldn't have told him to build an ark, and there's no way Noah could have gotten all the different species of ants and every fucking species, and two of them, at least two of them. What if they couldn't breed? What if they're too old? How long would that take? They would have to travel the whole world to get a North American mountain lion when he was in the Middle East. Like, how was he going to get that creature? Like, if I gave that logic to someone, instead of a Christian being like, you know what, that does make sense. There is some good things with philosophy that help us question things that are absurd. It doesn't make sense, right? So this whole story of Noah doesn't make any sense. And if you're logical and you're calm, me and you can grow together. But if you're not logical and calm, and your blood pressure goes up, and you double down on your belief because you read it, which people do this even in science. I read the paper, I read the article, so it's true. No, it's not. It's research. There's no evidence in research. I mean, what you research could be correct, no problem. But it's not valid evidence. Until you can recreate it, it's not valid. So, we can grow if we're calm. If you work on being calm, it's going to affect every aspect of your life. It's going to affect your aura. It's going to affect your relationships. It's going to affect how people treat you, right? So if you're calm, people are going to treat you decent. If you're someone who spazzes, people are going to be like, I don't want to fuck with you. Who the fuck are you? You're fucking a child. You can't control your own emotions. Like, what's going on here? Like, I'd be embarrassed as fuck, even to myself, on how I would shame myself if I yelled at someone. If I yelled at someone, I would feel shame in myself. If I talked back to my mom, I'd feel shame. Because no one grows in that scenario, and you're only worsening the scenario. You're going to lose your loved ones because you can't grow up. Because you can't even just do the simple task of staying calm. Being patient. Patience is a virtue, right? So being patient is going to be virtuous in your life. And you can't be virtuous in your life if you're panicking, if you're immediately reacting to things in a robotic state. You're not going to be virtuous because this isn't genuine. This isn't you. This isn't someone who can benefit and be virtuous in life. You need the aspect of patience. You need the aspect of being calm. If you're a day trader in the stocks, I'm fucking with stocks now. If you're a day trader, I'm not a day trader. I'm calm, I'm collected, I evaluate. If you're a day trader and you're like, I need this money right now, you're going to panic and things are going to go wrong. You're going to be a criminal and lower IQ if you panic. This is a low IQ phenomenon, right? If you panic a lot and you yell a lot, this means that you are very easily to be manipulated, right? So I own you if you can't handle your emotions. If you can't stay calm during scenarios, I own you. Straight up. So I can manipulate you how I deem. This is how women manipulate weak men. Recognize, this is how women manipulate weak-ass beta men. Because they can have you going for a fucking whirlwind of fucking high blood pressure, they can manipulate you how they want because you're that easily triggered. You're that easy to be manipulated. You're that easy to be controlled. You are a slave. You're not an adult with individual responsibility, which I can't wait to make that video next. So before this video becomes forever, I gave you a bunch of stories, I gave you a bunch of scenarios, I told you how weak you are if you can't remain calm. Being calm is a virtue, patience is a virtue. It's going to help you be virtuous in your life. It's going to help you in your scenarios. It could be a life or death scenario, and you can make it so you're not cloudy and make the wrong decision. You're going to be able to evaluate, stay calm, and if you do this, your blood pressure is going to be fucking perfect. You're going to live a lot longer. You're going to be a better man to your wife or a better wife to your husband. You are going to be a better person. You're going to be more virtuous, and you're going to show the world your virtues. and show the world how good it is to be calm and not panic and not fucking, and you can be responsible. People are going to count on you for things. If you're going to panic and be lazy or whatever, that's not a virtue. Right? So again, before this video takes forever, I gave you enough information, at least for this video. You know I can go another 3 hours on this stupid topic of staying calm. I'm glad that I actually made this video. I have plenty more videos coming, so stay tuned for more content. See you guys.